Tyolth Man.
Hello. Welcome to Tyolth Man. Happy New Year. This is our first podcast in
Happy New Year.
2026.
Yes, here's to
Hopefully, an
many more.
exciting year for cricket and our podcast. So let's see how
Yeah,
it goes. And you know
yeah.
what we are doing today? This is going to be our Ashes review podcast. It's been
Mm-hmm.
some time since Ashes got over, and let's just put an end to Ashes with our podcast, and we can stop
Yeah,
talking about it after this.
because
Okay,
it's only
so
lasted like 6 months. So I'm glad that it ended. Everyone's glad that it's
yeah.
ended.
I know what you mean. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Before we actually get into the serious podcast stuff discussing Ashes, let's start our the first segment that we are introducing in our podcast now, which is called What a Player, Man. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And as a debut for this segment, let's play the classic game of blind ranking, which you must be seeing a lot of people doing online, right? So I want you to blind rank these decent batting innings that I'm going to talk about now. Okay, so there are five of them. So you have to rank from one to five, one being the best. Okay, and these are
Okay,
some batting knocks of some cricketers. Okay, so
sounds
let's
interesting.
yeah, all the best. Okay, so let's start with this. This
So you asked
is
me, I do it. Do I get to
yes.
do it? Okay.
Yeah. So I'll tell you five innings, but you have to blind rank them. Here's the first one. Okay, 140 versus India in the second test of the Border Gavaskar series in 2024, which was at the back of losing the first test in Perth, and
Birth.
Australia was
Mm.
under pressure, and this person scored 140 against us against India, and that was a phenomenal innings and helped Australia win the match. So where would you rank this knock out of five?
Okay, that's a contest. Okay, I'm trying to remember who it is, but it's a 140 and they won the match, so
But that's
must
not
have
that's not
been.
important. Just think about this innings, and I told you the consequence, the importance of this innings
I'll
helped
I'll rate it
Australia level
five.
the series against India, and yeah, they were losing against India. Okay,
Yeah, it's not like they were
the
losing the
past two
series
series
for.
they had lost, and then not the first match. So Australia
Yeah, I got
under
it.
immense pressure, losing a
Mm.
third series against us, perhaps. So and this guy comes and scores 140. So yeah, quickly do it. Don't
Yeah, it's not etched in
think
my
too much.
memory, so I'll rank it number five
Number five, okay.
instinctively.
Yeah, good. Number five, okay. Now, uh, 62 versus South Africa in an ODI match, in a ODI semi-final in the last World Cup we had in India in 2023. This person scored 62, and it was a little shaky situation for Australia again. And
Yeah.
he came and scored 62, and had a partnership with the lower order, at Cummins to be exact, and helped his team reach the finals of the World Cup.
Okay. I don't quite remember if it's come during chasing or setting the target, but I'd be number four. Number four.
Number four. Okay, good. Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, 163 against India again in the World Test Championship finals
Oh, I know who
back
you're
in
talking about.
2023. Back in 2023 again, winning the World Cup of Test cricket.
Mm.
Where
That'd
would you rank
be
that?
number two.
Number two. Good. Good. Okay, so two, four, five done. 137 again against India in the ODI World Cup final in Ahmedabad 2023.
Okay.
Where did
Thanks for
that go?
reminding of the national drama. That's number one. It'll always be number one.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then 123 against England in the recently concluded Ashes in Perth
Yes. Now,
in the
yeah.
final innings where it almost looked like before this guy walked in as an opener, because the regular
Yeah.
opener was injured. This guy walked in, and he basically scored more than on a ball 123, and gave England no chance. Gave that dangerous fast
That was one
bowling
of the best innings
wanted no
ever. Yeah.
chance. Yeah.
Guy's already played like one of the best innings ever. Like you keep saying that
Yeah,
every time he goes
this
out to
is
bat.
you have only number three left, so this goes
Yeah,
into number three. Yeah, the number three. So
yeah.
not good, very decent ranking. Good job. But you know who I'm talking about? What a player, man! Travis Head. I mean, hats off. Okay, to this guy. Uh,
Even
this
as a rabid Indian fan,
so
you can only
so
appreciate
my
like
yeah
yeah.
yeah my what a player these days in cricket is generally Travis Head. In fact, so much so that I follow Sunrisers Hyderabad because of this guy. And you know, I've told this to you in the past. As a youngster, as a child, as a kid, whether you're in India, Australia, England, or any of these cricket crazy countries, say you like cricket and you want to play cricket professionally or otherwise, right? But you're interested in
Mhm.
cricket. One of the dreams you would have when you sleep is maybe to walk out, play the World Cup final for your country, walk out in a situation where your team is in trouble and go out and win the match for your team with your batting, like that guy. The stupid Indian movie where
Lagan.
Harman, not Lagan, Harman Baweja.
Yeah.
I don't remember the name of that movie. Good for me. But he goes out and he wins the World Cup for India or something like that. Some shitty way. So we make
Funnily
movies
enough, you
about
actually remember
we.
the name of the hero though. Which is
I know. Yeah. It's a little sad, but it's okay. But in Bollywood, we make movies about when somebody plays a part like that. This guy goes out and does that in the ODI World Cup final. Is that the only thing? No,
alarming
he does that in
regularity.
the World Test Championship finals as well. Again, Australia in the first innings was kind of probably we were doing bowling well, but he comes out and waxes all over the park, and with the
Yeah,
partnership with Steve Smith again takes that match away. And
yeah.
now, okay, these World Cups, two World Cups. What else? What else would you dream of, right? You would probably, as an Indian, probably we would go and think about India-Pakistan matches and say that we're going to win cricket matches for our country against Pakistan because they were our biggest rivals growing up. For Australia, that team is England, and to win Ashes is the pinnacle for them, right? And this guy goes out in Perth, Usman Khwaja is injured, and he says, "Okay, boys, let's." I think the some
How hard
dressing
can it
room
be is what he
conversation
said.
was, "Yeah, how hard can it be? Let's give them a whack." And he comes out and he actually whacks them. He actually whacks Jofra Archer and Bryden Cars and everyone else all over the park. And they scored, chased 200 plus in over 6 runs per hour, close to that, and
Yeah.
gave
That's the
England
only
no
way they could
chance.
have chased the score. That's the
And
only
there
way
was
they could have
no
done it anyways.
almost no coming back for England from that, right? So what a player, man! What a player.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
How about
And
you? Do
and
you
like
have
you
a
said,
what a player from Ashes?
mine's mine's a little peculiar, right? I mean, so uh, baseball in general, it was like a damn squib, like any other England tour, like in the last how many ever years. I mean, every time they go, they get whooped. Like the only exception being 2011, where they had a completely different bunch of people that included people like Peterson, Swan, etc., in the prime of their prowess. And Australians were declining. Even if they're declining, there is no weak Australian team when you're actually taking them on in home, especially at home conditions. There is no weak Australian team because it's not just a question of skills, and it's the way they fight and they never give up and they give their everything on the field, right? So that's the only thing that I can think of where England has actually been competitive. Otherwise, they've been blacked out. Like, they get blitzed all the time, like, 5-0, 4-0 on a regular basis. What was the question again? So I lost my train of thought.
Yeah, who's your what a player?
Okay, so mine, like I said, is a little peculiar. I pick Jacob Bethel. Jacob
Jacob Bethel.
Bethel because
He played the
because
last test, or did he play more
yeah,
than
he
that?
played the last test. He played the test in, I think he played the penultimate test as well. He played in Melbourne. He
Two test
scored a
matches. Yeah,
very
you're right.
crucial 40.
Uh-huh.
So in a way, he was very instrumental in them winning that test match. So
The Melbourne
he
match.
was picked
Yeah.
for two tests and only two tests, and he actually made a mark. And it actually vindicates my faith in him because when I looked at him, very few times it happens that when you look at him, like you think that you know cricket, right? I mean, I actually love the aesthetic side of his game, right? When he
Mhm.
there is something very pleasing about the way he strokes, and the kind of guy that you'd want to have in your team. I rarely ever think of things like that. Like, when I saw him, because he's young, he seems to have that young vibrance. He has that presence on the field, and especially when he's got the bat in hand and the way he strokes, it's a little different than baseball. So he has a little bit of a method to the madness. But baseball's just like Jared Kimber said, drunk uncle energy. Also mixed with millionaire who can afford steroids and having learned a martial art very poorly. He's very different from that. So I liked him.
Yeah.
I like the way he plays, and I think he's going to end up
Yeah,
scoring a lot of
good
runs.
choice. Good choice. Yeah, I think that innings he played, I also quite enjoyed it, and I agree with the aesthetics part of it.
Yeah,
It looks like a promising
a little
future
more
for
than just
England
the
batting.
normal left-handed elegance. A little more than that. Like he offers something more. Like the bat
And he
swing of
can bowl,
Yuvraj.
and he can bowl as well, right? Left arm.
I'm not even considering that. Yeah, he's
Okay.
handy that way. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not even going there though.
Okay, nice. Good choice. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So let's also debut our next segment of so we spoke about Travis Head and Jacob Bethel, a promising youngster, uh, people who have performed well, right, in the series. Let's now talk about the people who haven't performed quite well or didn't get an opportunity, and we call it, hey, what man?
What man? What?
That's that's
What?
the
Yeah.
that's the name of our segment. Hey, what man? Okay, so my hey, what man of the Ashes series is Potts. Okay,
Poor
uh,
man. Poor man.
what's his full name? Matthew Potts. Full
Matthew
name.
Potts. Yeah.
Matthew
Yeah.
Potts, right? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. Poor man. Okay,
Doesn't
okay.
matter.
Let's
Let's say that he's got a middle name. Does it
understand
matter?
this a little bit, right? So England suffering from injuries, they probably did not have anyone else to play the Sydney Test match. I think they were Potts and one other guy. I forget his name. Those were the replacements, but they finally went with Potts and
Fisher.
England
Fisher was
bat
really good.
first. Yeah. Who?
Fisher. Matthew Fisher.
Fisher. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
If you think
England bat
Potts is
first.
bad, yeah. If you think Potts is bad, you should have seen. If they played Fisher,
I'm
you would have
not.
seen. They would probably.
Yeah, I don't think I even want to say Potts is bad, but hear me out. Okay, so England bat first, make see 50 plus, decent score
Decent score.
on that first day Sydney track, right? It's not a bad score, and then they have a good opportunity still to vindicate uh, the series 3-2 and three ended with the Sydney Test match, and 3-2 is a good score line.
3-2 is very respectable.
And they
It's
start
not
bowling, and
formal.
obviously they would know that Australia will try to put Matthew Potts under pressure. But what pressure, man! He gave Australia scored at more than 5 runs per hour. He bowled 25 overs. I think he gave 140 plus runs for no wicket. They hit him all over the park. Okay,
Would
poor
you
guy.
would you empathize with him though? Like, the guy is not in the mix at all. He only played because the whole team
I
was injury stricken, right? I
definitely
mean,
empathize with him because, and we'll get into details of this after we finish this segment. But I empathize with him because I think somewhere the captain lost faith in him. I was trying to recollect what happened in Sydney, and after his fourth over or so, Potts had only one slip for most of it, and the field was spread for him because Ben Stokes had no faith in him at all. To that he'll bowl consistent line and length and he'll give him an attacking field and all. So
yeah.
obviously Head and others they started hitting him right from the go, but it's not like the captain planned anything around his bowling. So poor guy
No,
played one
complete
match, was
loss of
hit
faith. Yeah.
for 5 plus, yeah, was hit for 5 plus runs and over. England lost the match there with that first innings. Australia ended up scoring
That's
500
the
plus, and
kind
that's
of
so that's where
bowling that.
it ended.
Yeah.
And okay, England again batted again, made 300 plus, and Australia had to score 165, 160 plus, somewhere around that in the fourth innings to win. And
And
that can be
they
a
struggled a little
tricky
bit.
chase on the fourth
Yeah.
inning or on the fourth day pitch, right?
Yeah. They did. Yeah,
Watts did not get even a single over to ball.
yeah.
Okay,
That if doesn't scream
in
lack
that
of faith,
fourth
I don't know what
innings.
does. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Absolutely.
So Ben Stokes, not only this guy had a very bad innings, but I think he probably did not get the
Yes.
backing from Stokes and McCullum and the kind of backing these guys post about in this baseball era. So
Yeah.
that's my what man, not really about Matthew Potts, but what was going on with his selection and the way he was handled. Really poor for me. But that's all. Yeah.
Yeah.
So why don't you go with your A man?
Hey, what man? Like I should have prepared for it, but I think if there is anything that I'd say, I mean, I'd actually pick the whole baseball, the concept of baseball, right? Baseball is like cricket's version of ADHD. You have difficulty with focus. You can't organize things the way you want. You have absolute lack of impulse control, uh, mismanagement, forgetfulness, all the things that you can associate with ADHD. Baseball has it, right? I don't know, like, problem with baseball is like they pick people who can only play a certain way, right? And they say, because, oh, let me say this, let me rephrase this. They pick people that throw caution to the winds and they go bang, bang right from the ball one because they don't trust
Are
their
you are
defense,
you
right?
are you talking about someone like Harry Brook? LB or who's
Harry
the
Brook,
pick of
Harry
your
Brook is,
one?
Ha- yeah, Harry Brook is strange. I don't know if I want to really criticize Harry Brook. I mean, it's like impetuousness. Harry Brook has a problem, but I think I'm actually focusing on Ben Duckett. The guy basically he prides in not leaving balls. I mean, he says it himself. Like, I don't leave balls at test cricket, and that's insulting, abusing test cricket in a way, right? I think I did mention this to you before. Like the one guy who's been phenomenally successful, who's completely underrated in the last 10 years, who scored tremendous amount of runs. More than that, he faced a lot of deliveries. That's Pujara. If you ask any of the Australian bowlers in the last 10 years who gave them sleepless nights, it probably was him because he averages about 1,000 deliveries in a series, and that's like battered and bruised bodies for the fast bowlers, right? And that guy leaves a lot of balls, leaves them.
But you cannot compare Ben Duckett with Pujara, right? That's
I'm
not
just
a
saying,
fair
no,
comparison.
he's not an opener.
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
saying what you need, the elements that you need to be a successful batsman. I mean, that's what you eventually want to be, right? You want to be successful in Australia. And the guy says, I don't
But
leave balls. And
but
he doesn't
but
leave
these
balls. And you know
people,
what
they
happened?
yeah, yeah, true. Agree with that. Yeah. So,
No,
their style of play did not was
no.
not
Yeah.
successful.
The
Clearly,
question is
Ben
because he
Duckett
doesn't leave the
averages
balls.
20, I think, in the series. So that's really
Yeah.
poor for an opener.
Yeah. No, he was vilified a lot, right? I mean, he had that incident in Noosa. If anyone had really battered their reputation in England, this is one of the guys. I mean, all these things they probably would be swept under the carpet in case if you're doing really well. Being drunk and found in a place like with no one else and trying to look for your team's hotel, like asking for directions to a random stranger who then
I don't know.
tapes it and
I
then
think
sends it.
I think that's a private moment. That random stranger
Yeah,
also
exactly. Yeah, I
wanted
wouldn't I
some
wouldn't pay too much
popularity, right?
attention to it.
He
Yeah.
did yeah. Let's
But then
not
this is
think
ashes.
about that too much.
These kind of things get amplified, right? This is ashes, and obviously press will be
Right,
looking for reasons to vilify you.
right, yeah. And I think Australia
As
won the Boxing Day test after that incident, right? Or was this happen? This happened
this
after
happened in Noosa. This
MCC?
was Noosa's Adelaide, right? Yeah, the
Yeah,
test number 3.
yeah.
And again, going back to baseball, right? Who organizes a casual trip like that, a holiday in between a series, which is just as important as Ashes for them?
No, but why
They go
not?
out on the limb.
Why not? Why not? If it's such a long series, why? Come on,
That's
let them
management.
do
I mean,
what they want
see,
in
yeah,
their time, right?
yeah, yeah. Well,
I
see,
don't have a problem
again,
with
these
that.
things they scream out like no in your face when you lose the way you do, right? I mean, I don't know. Like for me,
I
that
don't
seems like
agree with
mismanagement.
those incidents and
Yeah, I'm
them
nitpicking. I'm nitpicking.
enjoying, yeah,
Definitely
nitpicking,
nitpicking. Yeah,
right? Yeah.
but again,
See, you okay? Let's get into the proper Ashes review now, right? For me, this series, I was looking forward to this series, and we all were, right? Because England had kind of had this hype all around them with their the style of play, baseball or whatnot, and what would they do? in Australia, because we had already seen a glimpse of this when Australia was in England, and for three
Yeah,
test matches there, the Australian bowlers did not have answers of how
definitely.
these guys were batting, right? So yeah, really looking forward to a close contest and very entertaining couple of months for all of us. That's right.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
and and I have been a big fan of baseball ever since McCullum and Ben Stokes decided
yeah,
that this is how they wanted to play. And I liked it for a lot of reasons, uh, especially the kind of confidence they gave to their batters who were not very skilled, like the Ben Ducketts and Zach
yeah.
Crawleys of the world. I don't think they are very skilled batsmen, but with the kind of confidence and mindset they enter the field and what they're able to achieve with their limited talent was very amazing for me to see. And I thought that was a very good lesson in leadership and management. Somebody can write a book about it someday, that you can, how do you squeeze most out of your resources just by
Yeah.
making sure that their mindset, yeah, all that nonsense. But this series was such a big letdown. They have been actually so dumb in so many sessions, so many phases of during the early part of the series. Right after that, it was kind of a give up situation. And
Yeah.
what I okay, I hate the fact that England's style of play did not even succeed in phases, I would say. I don't remember England
No, it didn't
batsmen
succeed at all.
dominating the baseball style of play, succeeding even for like a session or so. Harry Brook, yeah, he scored some 50s, maybe that was the phase. And then this guy, the keeper Smith, he probably towards the end hit a couple of 50s, which were like that. But otherwise
There's no
they
sustained
kind of did
dominance,
not.
if you put it that way. Like there is no
Right.
dominant period that actually
Right.
went on
So,
for a little.
yeah. So what I'm saying is that Joe Root style succeeded, but the rest of the baseball stuff did not succeed.
Yeah,
What irks me the most is that during the series itself, I think England already took a step back from baseball, which they haven't done for last 3 years. They said
yeah.
this is how we play, and we will. They were very adamant, right, wrong, you like it, I like it. The rest of the world, nobody likes it, whatever it may be. They didn't give a shit. They said this is how we'll play, this is how we'll continue to play, whether we are succeeding or not. If you get out playing a bad shot, the comments that you would get is you should have played hit it harder or something if you get caught at the bottom. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
But but did you get that feeling that after Adelaide,
They abandoned it,
even during Adelaide, they kind of some most of them abandoned it. Joe Root, okay, classic
except for
player, he
Stokes.
plays the way he does. Stokes already abandoned it. I think he has been a very poor batsman for a long time. So he was playing uh, classic Test cricket. But somebody like Smith, the keeper, and even Crawley and Duckett, there were a few innings where they were trying to be cautious, and that I think was a very big letdown for the build-up that these guys were giving. That showed that lack of self-confidence in them. That okay, Ashes was our main test. We have failed here. Let's already surrender. Okay,
Oh,
and that
salvage the
surrender.
pride. I mean, that's Operation Salvaging the Pride, right? I mean, so once so you know, I know everyone knows it's not it's like an open secret that like for baseball to succeed, that the template for that template to succeed, they need a certain kind of pitch, right? And that's exactly what they curated, that's what they created, and after that you can actually go tonking the ball right from the word go, and then you score lots of runs, and even the opposition scores runs, but then you score at a faster pace because of which you win. And also at the beginning of basketball, they still had Jimmy Anderson and Broad. Like, that's what, like 12,000 or 1,200 test wickets, right? They still had the skill to prize out the wickets on those pitches, which offered nothing to bowlers. So that's one of the things that people don't pay attention to at all. They got Jimmy Anderson to retire because they were focusing on Ashes, and their focus started about what 3 years ago. And they said, Jimmy, we're not looking at you as a potential seeming option for us, and we're going to look at fast hit the deck kind of bowler. So we'll get you out because whoever comes in, we need to groom him. And look where it got them. Like basically, they were pinning their hopes on a couple of bowlers who actually are
See,
fragile. Like
see,
like my
yeah,
quad.
you have moved on to talking about their bowling, right? And
Yeah,
I
sorry.
do
Yeah,
have an I do have an unpopular opinion there. Okay.
Mm.
Okay, I said their batting, they kind of did not play baseball like from the mid second, third test onwards, and uh, the intent was missing and stuff like that. True, I think
Yeah.
that happened, and they kind of surrendered their mindset somewhere there. But my unpopular opinion is that despite whatever the batsmen did, however down they were in parts
Mm.
and then not play well and all of that, despite all that, I think England still had a decent batting door. Okay, I think it's the bowlers that lost them the Ashes. That's what I feel because if you look at the
Yeah.
scores, Perth and Melbourne were very difficult to bat. That's where England scored in hundreds in
So did
both the
Australia.
places. But they yeah, so did Australia, and that was 1-1. Australia won Perth. MCG was England. The other places, England reached I think 250s and 300s most of the times. Okay. And I would say that's a decent score. If you score 350 these days in Test cricket, if you bowl well and get the opposition, if you bat first and score 350 and get the opposition also under 350, you're probably doing well. And that's where the bowling attack,
Yeah.
Bryden Cars, Josh Tongue,
They
Archer,
didn't.
these people probably
They should have done
Australia
better with the
lower
bat.
order scored a lot of runs, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
The lower order
You
of
could
runs.
always
So
argue, sorry, you could always argue that they could have done better with the bat anyway. They could have pressed home the advantage. I mean, that's what people like the experts and pundits were
sure.
screaming about, right?
Sure,
So
yes, sure,
they
yeah,
gave it
but
away when they had it going for them, which is like absolute brainless, stupid, reckless cricket. That's what they did. When they absolutely had no reason to throw caution to the winds, they did. When they had to buckle down, they didn't. So that's the problem. Like, there were numerous instances of them doing that. Like, when remember when they call it the most
but if you
atrocious shot of all time.
if you
Jamie Smith's
allow
dismissal.
uh
Remember that? Against Marnus Labuschagne.
yes, yeah, I remember
That's
that. Yes,
inexcusable,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So, and they had everything going for them. Joe Root was on the other side, batting really well. He was probably at 130, and this guy was batting well too. Like, they just had to wait for
Completely agree. Completely agree with you. But the mark that Mitchell Stark left with the bat, if you allow Mitchell Stark to score at an average of 25-30, I think it was
yeah,
much higher in the first three tests than towards the last two. He didn't bat much. But he was very difficult for them to get out. Even Scott Boland, right? He came as a night watchman and then
yeah. Was that Adelaide?
had a partnership. Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they couldn't get the lower middle order out. Alex Carey, of course, is a very fine batsman now, and he's playing match winning or important knocks for Australia. But yeah, you would expect that at least once, right? If not once, maybe a few times in such a long series, you would bundle the lower order out quickly. And England lacked that kind of threat. There was
No,
nobody.
they didn't.
Jofra
Yeah.
Archer maybe just in the first innings in Perth, but uske baad he did nothing. He was quite useless. The bowling attack was very useless. Bryden Cass is their highest wicket taker, but he averaged 30. And I don't know with the lower
It's
order
probably one of the
how much it
worst,
was.
yeah, worst
Yeah,
ever bowling performances across the series, but ended up bagging over 20 wickets. I mean, I've not seen it's an absolute statistical anomaly. He did nothing to the team scores, like, to
yeah.
furthering the team scores. Ended
I
up
think
taking a
Josh
lot of
Tug,
wickets because they were going. He was very good.
Josh Tug end में अच्छा था ना. He was
Awesome.
quite good. He was a little reckless, but he was getting wickets consistently. I think he had a very good series. Yeah. Archer
He had
is
an upper on
like
Smith.
Archer is like Bumrah now and play all the matches in a series, which is very unfortunate. But
And they had two
but
of
not
them. They had two people like that they were willing to punt on. Like, no, that's a
yeah.
very massive punt for a series that's as important as Ashes for them. They keep saying that
Mark
Ashes is
Wood,
very, very, very important. Mark Wood, yeah,
Mark Wood,
exactly.
yeah, he played only one match.
Acceptable.
He got injured. Right.
Yeah, 4 overs is what he bowled in the first innings, and then that's gone. That's his series over. That's not excusable. I mean, it's again. I go back to baseball, right? I mean, so problem is with the management. I mean, with the players. I mean, yeah, you pick the players. You think that they're good at playing a certain way, and you say that, like, we're gonna give you infuse a lot of confidence into you. You don't worry about failure, but fear of failure is what drives you along. Like, it's just a whole philosophy. I remember I told you this, like, even in corporates, you're judged by your performance, not by your flair and flamboyance. Baz is like this manager, right? You have an appraisal with him, and he tells you that I've picked you for a reason. I know that you're absolutely good. I'm not going to look at your stats. There is no sense of accountability. There is no appraisals and assessments and all that. I want you to do the best you can, but I'm not going to look at your stats because I know you're that good, right? Somebody tells me that. Imagine if that happens to me, I'd do nothing. It's not as if I do something now. I'd probably do it without a
No, but
sense
it
of
was, it
guilt.
was no, yeah, it was working for him. But again, even he now kind of agrees that some tweaks are needed. He already tweaked the way they play. Now he kind of agrees that some tweaks are needed in the
I'm just
post series review.
no,
That's what he said. So
just talking about the philosophy of backing your players to the hilt, right? I mean that works. I mean, so you're creating an atmosphere where there is no fear of failure. That's absolutely, that sounds ideological, right? That sounds great to listen to, but then that's not how people thrive. People thrive in pressure. Like, whatever you've done in your life as well, you probably have managed to get things done,
I'm
get
sure
shit done, accomplish things
I'm
when
sure
you're
I'm
under
sure
tremendous
that
pressure.
I'm sure they people must be under pressure. He kept saying that what we discuss in the dressing room is not what we
Yeah,
tell people outside, right? So
yeah.
those kind of
Hopefully
things,
that's true. Yeah,
I'm sure
yeah.
that that's true, right? If people are failing consistently, it's not like you'll not change anything or you'll not tell them how to improve their game or not make them realize that they're being shit.
The only easy scapegoat was Ollie Pope because you could see it coming from from a
Yeah.
mile away. Ollie Pope was,
लॉलीपॉप का तो ये पैटर्न है ना he plays one or two matches and then gets replaced.
but he did well. He started well in Perth on a
Yeah.
pitch that was offering a lot. Like, he was
Because he
playing well, and
plays well
after
in the
that he
first
was.
test. He plays well in the first test. Then they keep him for the second. Then he doesn't. Then उसको निकाल देते हैं उसका सुबह. But anyway,
उसको
now
बोलते हैं ना कि
just
frenetic है.
little.
I mean, at the crease, being frenetic, even if you don't know the word frenetic, you just see him and then he defines it, right?
Yeah.
Frenetic मतलब क्या है? Watch him play. Like, first 10 balls, he's frenetic. Like, he's just, yeah, ADHD
Anyway, okay.
personification.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, Ashes is done. Been some time that it was done, and extremely disappointing series. मेलबर्न एंड सिडनी में तो सुबह उठ के देखने का मन भी नहीं किया टू वेक अप अर्ली एंड वॉच द मैचेस इट वाज दैट बैड
Uh, for me, it starts at 10:30 or 11:30, so I did watch a
yeah,
little bit
yeah.
towards the end.
Okay. And I know wonder where does England go from here? What do they do with their philosophy? Because they talk about philosophy and keeping the game entertaining and all. Do they continue to back it even if it's successful now? If they continue to play baseball and if it's successful, it's still there'll be a joke, right?
I see no
Always
reason
always a
why
joke. Yeah.
I see no reason why they should abandon it, because they're going to play most of their matches back home. Like, the bulk of their matches are played in England, and it works for them. So why not just play the way they want?
Yeah. I don't know
Ashes
whether
is only once every
McCullum,
4 years.
yeah,
Ashes
McCullum
is only
whether
once. Yeah. But the problem ये है कि वो लोग बोलते हैं कि what matters to us is Ashes. So we're willing to put careers on the line. We're willing to ignore this thing called WTC that everyone's clamoring about, but they don't care about it. And they say that what matters to us is Ashes, and that's shambolic. Like, when they actually end up playing there. So if baseball works for them in England, why not? Just because they're playing Pakistan.
I
They're
know.
absolutely
All I mean is that they came up with they invented this type of playing and all perhaps for the down under
hubris.
Ashes,
Yeah.
which didn't work for them. So what do they do with it now?
That's
Do they come up with
eggs on
something
their
new, something
face.
different? Maybe
Yeah.
maybe nobody will score anymore. Leave everything that they can and score it 2 runs per over. ऐसा कुछ try करेंगे just for anyway.
But at
Okay,
least
it's
it's a
a
lesson
disappointing
learned. Like,
series.
they said they were reinventing Test cricket. Okay.
Yeah.
I have a problem with that. I have a problem with them being the
No,
moral custodians of the game.
see,
Right.
the
I have a problem with that. No,
to be
that's
to be to
why.
be fair, the way Australia won the series is by playing aggressive cricket. It's not like aggressive batting in Test cricket is very important. That's what Travis Head did in Perth and Sydney and everywhere, right? Whenever he plays, that's what he does. Steve Smith doesn't. Some others don't. Alex Carey is also a very aggressive batsman these days. So if you manage to put the opposition under pressure for 1 hour of batting or a session, 2 hours of batting, you're already taking the game away. तो फिलोसफी ऑफ बेसबॉल जो भी है बहुत अच्छा है, तो उल्लुओं की तरह इफ यू डोंट start nicking and hitting in the air and get out, it would work
Yeah.
well for it would have worked well for them, but nahi hua. I'm very sad about it.
No, it's just
uh,
ये
I
भी है
like
कि
Stokes as a leader.
these guys don't have a batting coach. I mean, again, I don't know how much of an importance coach's role has like in cricket, right? Especially at their level. They didn't have a fielding coach. They dropped a lot of catches, which costed them very dearly, right? And apparently they didn't have a fielding coach because they couldn't afford the money, and they were being hired by these leagues that were
Yeah,
happening all
exactly.
around.
Such a poor
Crazy.
fielding series for them, right? Yeah, crazy, totally crazy. क्या घटिया fielding था बाप रे. And
क्या बोलते हैं लोग, fielding is the only thing it's in your control, like because fielding में skill की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती. It's just practice, like you keep catching hundreds and hundreds of balls, and then you not
in Australia,
potentially
they
won't make a mistake.
almost didn't leave anything, right? Every other hour, you would see Steve Smith catch in the slips.
Yeah,
Labuschagne, Alex Carey आगे आके wicket keeping कर रहा था for all the fast bowlers, and they were bowling the right line,
that
and
was
then he was
poetic, man. The
fielding was
way
the
he took the balls,
yeah.
and the balls were darted at a decent speed, right? They were not
Right,
120
exactly.
darting
Michael
balls.
Neser and all there.
Yeah,
क्योंकि बॉलर को भी थोड़ा लगता होगा ना, गुस्सा आता होगा कि आगे आके खड़ा हो गया, तो इवन इफ दे
अगरा
अग्रीड दैट दे विल बॉल द एग्रीड
अगरा बोलता
एग्रीड
है इसके
लाइन
बारे में.
आउटसाइड ऑफ स्टंप, एकदम फिर भी वो एकदम तेज डालेगा कि इसको मारो, कीपर को भी मारो, बैट्समैन ने मारो.
Yeah,
गुस्सा तो आता होगा.
yeah.
सो बट स्टिल, सो ऑस्ट्रेलिया फील्डेड वेरी वेल. Yeah, that's a very big difference in the series as well, other than the stupidity
So
that
that's
we saw.
preparation.
But
So that's preparation.
okay,
I go
yeah,
back to I
enough.
rest my case, right? Preparation is very, very important. These guys are prepared for a trip to Nusa, which is a pleasure trip right in the middle. They planned it 1 year in advance,
Yeah,
but they didn't do anything else. See, this is the problem.
yeah.
I don't have a problem with
You
them
go you go
taking a
you
break.
go on treks every time you get a break, so it's okay. Let them enjoy, man. Come on, don't be an uncle
मैं
now. Sort
okay, ठीक है.
of लड़कों का मजे का टर्न अभी. ठीक है. Okay, but anyway, that's Ashes, and a very interesting part of Test cricket did not turn out to be interesting. But let's see what else do we have to look forward to in Test cricket this year. I think some South
Nothing for
Africa,
us.
South
Yeah,
Africa
South
has
Africa.
Australia and England visiting them toward the end of the year. That's going to be interesting. We'll all watch it. New
अच्छा है ना
Zealand
कि
will go to
South
Australia.
Africa has emerged to be a new powerhouse in cricket.
हाँ,
It's
वो
it's
तो
good
मजा
to
आएगा
look
अभी.
forward to South
Hopefully,
Africa.
South Africa Australia series is exciting.
Oh,
हाँ,
ऑस्ट्रेलिया में या साउथ अफ्रीका में? बिकॉज
South
that'll be
Africa,
after sandpaper.
South Africa में.
Okay,
It's in South
that'll be
Africa.
very interesting.
So Rabada and company versus Cummins and company. That
And Smith
probably is.
Smith ने क्या बोला? Smith ने बोला कि he said he couldn't commit on whether he's gonna play in England again. So he's taking one series at a time right now. Smith का मुझे लगता है, I don't know if Smith's gonna play for
Possibly.
long. So I think we're going to New Zealand, are we? We're going to New Zealand,
Yeah,
and
we'll go to
we'll
New Zealand.
go to Sri
Yeah.
Lanka as well. Sri Lanka, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
man,
it'd be nice
hopefully
if we
we
can
don't we don't
actually.
we don't lose in both places. So scary. I somehow wish that India doesn't play Test cricket for some time.
There is a big chance that we might get blanked out in Sri Lanka and New Zealand as well. So I normally don't expect much from us in New
एक जगह
Zealand
स्पिन
because
खेलना नहीं आता, दूसरी जगह काइली जेमिसन.
खेलना नहीं आता, और हमारे पास है भी नहीं स्पिनर.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
one guy that we banked on for a very long time, he's completely gone. Like Kuldeep Yadav आता है, वो 8 ओवर डालता है, 70 रन देके चला जाता है. He does nothing.
New Zealand, of course, depends on what kind of pitches we get, but yeah, so
No, I think that
very
yeah,
gives me an
every
icky
time we
feeling
go.
thinking about what India has to do. So let's not worry about India. We'll discuss that later. New Zealand will go to Australia. I think the next summer, Australian summer is New Zealand
Yeah,
playing
they
there.
have decent.
That hopefully, and I don't know whether that will be competitive, but let's see. So yeah, at least South Africa may they're good series. Australia is also playing quite a bit of cricket. We have something, so not a bad year for Test cricket. Let's see. And then next year,
I just wish we played
27
more.
में Australia would come here, 5 Test matches. That
Yeah,
that even if we don't go into the WTC finals, which I don't think we will, that series is our hope for salvaging something out of this cycle. But on that note,
yeah.
yeah, good for Test cricket. Bad Ashes.
One question before I mean, I
Go
just
ahead.
want to seek your opinion, right? Let me ask you
Yeah.
this. There is a popular opinion that in the social media circles, right? People are asking Virat Kohli because of his fitness and because of the way he's playing, he seems to have found a new spark and he seems to play really well. Do you think he can be coerced out of retirement for Test cricket, or do you think he's done in Test cricket and he knew it? That's why he quit.
Somebody should go back and see his Test cricket stats. The last six years, he was scoring at what, 30? 40? No, 40 was overall career. I think he was scoring at 30.
No,
He
he
was
lost.
probably
His average dipped by 10.
he was
That's a
worse than
huge,
Nitish Kumar
humongous dip.
Reddy. He was worse than Nitish
Yeah.
Kumar Reddy or
And what is
Washington
that guy
Sundar
doing
or
in the team?
all those people. Okay.
What is that guy
But
doing in the team?
and
Nitesh.
and remember, I don't mean to say that Kohli was bad in everything, right? Kohli was always very good in ODI cricket. I think his dip in ODI was very short.
Never happened.
वर्ल्ड कप में हाईएस्ट रन स्कोरर था वो चैंपियंस
Dip in
ट्रॉफी
ODI
फाइनल में भी
never
मारा
happened.
never happened. So अभी भी it's not a surprise that he's playing well in ODIs. He's scoring a lot of centuries, but it's not a surprise at all, and he's playing well. Hopefully, he continues playing well and maybe gets closer to those 100 centuries, whatever.
So he picked his
More power
format,
to him.
basically.
Yeah, he picked his format. Yeah. But Test cricket, no chance. No chance at all. Kohli is done. Okay, anyway, yeah. So that's our Ashes review. Like, share, and the
Subscribe.
other thing.
मस्त किया तूने. अच्छा था.
Okay, bye.